Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, the nights are longer and there's a chill in the air. It's almost Halloween, which for today's guests means scare season. This is the second in a three-part series on ways to get out of town mentally and physically. And today we're talking about ways to experience the frights and delights of the season just outside the burg. It's Wednesday, September 27th. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh is talking about. I'm back with a friend of the pod, Stacey Federoff. Thank you for coming in.
Hi, Megan. Always a treat.
And you brought a very tall friend with you today, Dave Archer. Welcome to CityCast Pittsburgh.
Hi, happy to be here.
So I know you guys have worked together for a while, 6 years seasonally. You're both at Scare House. It's that completely over-the-top haunted house at Pittsburgh Mills Mall. If you're allowed, can you each describe your roles this year?
I'll go to Stacey first.
Well, I, as a scare actor, am always, somewhere lurking in the shadoes.
I feel like we've got good ambiance. We're all downtown, and there's some fun noises coming from Market Square right now.
Spooky. So, I rotate roles, so I'm not always the same thing.
You were a haunted pickle one year. Very Pittsburgh.
Well, yes, zombie pickle, yes. But my favorite spots are usually in the zombie apocalypse section because that involves a little more aggression with the customers.
Gotcha. And then Dave, I think you've had pretty much one consistent role from the start.
Yeah, I've had a few separate from time to time, but I've pretty much been Dave the Clown for 8 years now. So.
Could you describe your costume or the, kind of what folks experience for those who are not familiar?
Mm-hmm. So just to preface this, I'm 6'6", fairly big guy, so a little bit of intimidating presence. And then you put the clown makeup on, and it's a big yellow and red suit. Mm-hmm. And I've always played it, a little bit mischievous and scary, and I like to play hide and seek with people.
Yeah. Can confirm. You've scared the heck out of one of my friends a few years ago. She's already terrified of clowns, and it was so funny to watch. How did you each get into haunt acting? Stacey may have helped me with the lingo in advance of this.
Well, I'll start. My beginnings were basically because I love Halloween.
Yeah.
And I like to patronize the Scare House and, follow them on social media. And year round, you find in July, they start saying, hey, you can be an actor and scare people.
What about you, Dave?
So once again, same, also loved Halloween. And then I started doing scaring the kids and stuff when I got out of the trick-or-treating age.
Yeah. Did you have a haunted house set up at your home or a friend's house or something like that?
At our home, just like a garage kind of set up.
I feel like that's a lot of our gateway drugs,
Yeah, exactly.
Those are called home haunts, Megan.
Oh, are they?
That's official.
Yes.
And a mutual friend of Stacey and myself, Phil, who I worked with at a video store for many years.
R.I.P.
I know. But no, he started doing it, and he said, this is so much fun, you got to join. So the next year I auditioned, and the rest is history.
Yeah. As experts on that side, the people inspiring the scares, what would you say is maybe the hardest but also the most gratifying part of the gig?
I think the hardest thing for us from an actor's perspective may be that we're all geared up and ready to go this time of year in September when it's first starting. We got a lot of energy.
The crowds are still pretty low at this point.
Right. That's the problem. Then it reverses in October where there are more people who are excited for Halloween, but we have already been
doing this for a month
or
more.
Yeah. So I always say it's more of a marathon than a sprint, that you have to be keeping your energy up all throughout the season. But I mean, that's the reason why I love it so much is I get to celebrate Halloween for two whole months.
Yeah.
Or more.
Dave?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And to that point of it being a marathon, not a sprint, there's lifestyle changes I make throughout September and October.
I bet.
To keep vocal range intact and
Aw.
like everything so that there's a very consistent performance.
Ooh, care to give us a preview of that performance as a little pre-Halloween treat?
It's a lot of that. That is a lot of throat coat tea, cough drops, no alcohol.
You gotta have a lot of clean living to scare people in a clown suit.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, if I were to have a drink, my vocal cords, I can't get to that range the next day. I don't know why. It's just
Wow.
yeah, it's a thing.
That's such commitment. What do you think that people like to get creeped out for fun? You can speak from firsthand experience if you want.
I'd say it's the same reason why people ride roller coasters or go to horror movies. There's an exhilaration and a thrill to it, and it releases a lot of emotions on people. And, you know, you could be having a rotten day at work, and you go somewhere, and when you're in there for that 30 minutes, and you're going through, and you're seeing everything, and people are coming out, you're not thinking about work. I mean, you're just in the moment living this, and when you come out, you feel so much better than when you went in.
Yeah, it's a total reset. Stacey, I think you shared this with me, that a good haunt balances elements of motion, stimulus, and variety. I couldn't put it better. It's just, it really takes you out of whatever it was you were doing a few minutes before.
And when the rooms are tight and the scares come from all angles, up, down low, up high, all that factors into it too. The elements of surprise, the haunts using smells is also something that is even engaging that part of your senses. You're just overwhelmed, and then once you come out, you're like, oh, I made it, and that's the best feeling.
Totally. The Pittsburgh Citywide Task Force on Employee Ownership was created to help businesses in the Pittsburgh region thrive and grow by bringing the message of employee ownership and its benefits to 30,000 businesses in the area. The task force was formed in conjunction with the Pennsylvania Center for Employee Ownership, the Pittsburgh City Council, Heinz Endowments, Chatham University, and the University of Pittsburgh. Employee ownership is a business model and form of succession planning that benefits owners, workers, companies, and communities alike. Interested in learning more? The task force will be holding in-person informational sessions around the Pittsburgh region. To learn more about the task force or to sign up for an informational session, please visit pghbusiness.org. That's pghbusiness.org. Okay, so we brought you here not just for your inside takes, but also for the kinds of haunts that you look for as a customer and guest. Our Cracker Jack team behind the scenes broke this into a few categories for us. So first up, where outside of Pittsburgh, not Scarehouse, would you recommend for the hardest core horror fans? Like no holds bar, poop your pants, scream till you lose your voice kind of fear.
So I'm going to say Scarehouse. No, I'm just joking. No, Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse?
That instantly comes to mind for me. It's in, obviously, Chippewa Lake, Ohio, which is east of Akron. It's a former slaughterhouse. So the real deal.
Yeah.
That they have converted into a haunted attraction. And I've gone twice now, and I've gotten good scares out of it both times. And I'm a hard mark for that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, can y'all even get scared in the same way that a lot of us do, if you ever did?
I don't think it's like a persistent level of terrified, but I've gotten some really good jump scares. Like one that I like to bring up there is, so you're walking through like this hallway of just pallets of containers, and then in front of you, all of a sudden, a forklift comes like right in front of you with another empty container, and you walk through it. And I never would have expected something like that in a million years.
Yeah, that's really intense timing.
Yeah. I went on Halloween night with another actor from Scarehouse, and it felt like we were the only people in there.
That seems worse.
Like there wasn't like a ton of ambient music or anything. You'd maybe get like some old like Victrola music playing from time to time. The costumes all felt like very homemade, like homemade in a good sense, like Texas Chainsaw kind of homemade, that aesthetic. And it almost feels real to an extent because it's all on theme.
Yeah, yeah. Those kinds of immersive haunts really they take a minute to kind of shake off, you know? Stacey, did you have one?
I do want to give a shout out to the Crawford School of Terror in Connellsville. I think they also do a good job of I haven't been because I'm at the scare house all the time. But I've heard that they also have a lot of that like thematic because it was a schoolhouse elements to it, and also the outside while you're waiting, different things to get you primed and ready to go in through the haunt.
Well, so what about someone who has maybe a lower terror tolerance? They want to get in the Halloween spirit, but they're maybe not trying to exacerbate a heart condition or anything.
So I think a great one for that would be the Factory of Terror in Canton. So they have, I think, 3 or 4 bars in the haunt.
Bars?
Bars.
Like to drink at?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they have like a New Orleans themed haunt. And after that haunt, in between the next one, they have a New Orleans Mardi Gras bar.
Okay. With
like themed characters in there. And the drinks are all like hurricanes and stuff like that. They have a pirate bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they're good drinks, too. And, that place has a party atmosphere to me because of that.
Yeah.
So it's like the haunt might be a little much for some people, but it's like, well, if you get through the one haunt, then you have a bar waiting for you and a fun thing. So, I mean, it breaks it up. It's not just constantly hitting you, scare. You get a nice breakup with the bar atmospheres, and they had food trucks there and other stuff.
They're also open during different times throughout the year, as are some of the haunts locally around the region. And those typically, for Valentine's Day, or some haunts have even been doing St. Patrick's Day, Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one. And in October, that's coming up this year.
Oh, right, yes. And Christmas, and so those are actually a little bit more mild if it is something,
Maybe makes you a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
What about a kid or family-friendly haunted attraction?
So I'd say a good one for that would be the Haunted Hills Hayride in North Versailles.
Okay.
Just a fun hayride. I mean, it's got some elements of spookiness to it, but it's more classic Halloween, I would say, than like Saw.
Yeah. Is it like scarecrows jumping out at you, or like people chasing you with chainless chainsaws?
Chasing you with plungers.
Plungers?
I got a plunger stuck to my head, yes, at that haunt.
You're kidding.
Oh, that's great.
There's nothing like a bathroom emergency to inspire terror in all of us.
I wanted to add in Hobgoblin hikes in Westmoreland County.
Okay.
Those were a staple when I was a kid growing up out there. They're put on in the county parks and are very fun for kids to do. And I believe they also enlist some kids to help out at.
Yeah. What about like Fright farms or corn mazes and stuff like that? Are those worth folks' time to you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you have the major Pittsburgh events like the Kennywood Fall Fest, where you can go during the day, and it's more of the fall harvest atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then if you stay into the night when it becomes the haunt, and then the Zoo Boo also. And I think the thing that I think is important is that there should be haunts for kids that are, that get them into that spirit, because otherwise, like Dave and I wouldn't be here.
That's correct. Yeah.
You don't get grown-ups that are still enjoying the time.
I still love to go to like Sorgels and ride the hayride and pick a pumpkin, and
really
still love doing that. Yeah,
very excited.
I will always say that's worth your time.
Very excited for the return of the Boo Barn at Triple B Farms.
About an hour south of the city. Yeah,
that's in Monongahela. Mm-hmm.
What's special about the Boo Barn?
Well, I will see. It was closed for a few years, but what I remember was it was your own self-guided walk through, and everything was, like you mentioned, Dave, homemade in a good way. Kind of the creativity was what I appreciated about it. And it was still scaring the littlest kids who were walking through.
Very cool. Well, since we're recommending many of these as getaways, what about maybe a haunted attraction that is just in a really beautiful part of the world? Like maybe the best attraction to build up a true day or weekend trip around?
So a good destination haunt would be the Field of Screams. It's by Hershey. So you could have a weekend trip where you go to Hershey Park. If you like to go shopping, they have an outlet mall out there.
Very nice.
A brewery, Trogs, is out there.
Okay, yeah.
Maker of one of my favorite Christmas beers, Mad Elf.
Yeah. The Doppelbock is dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have brewery-only exclusives that they just make just for in there.
Yeah.
So you do that. And I think Hershey Park now is also doing haunts. So you could have a 2-haunt weekend. And then there's also, I think, Jason's Woods and Shocktoberfest in the area. So you could make a whole haunt weekend right in the middle of the state.
Have you taken that exact trip before?
Maybe.
What about maybe the quirkiest pick? Stacey, you've been giggling over this one for half an hour.
I recommend to all of my friends the Hopewell Windmill haunted mini golf.
Okay. Hopewell is north of the city?
Yes, in Beaver County. Yeah, they have mini golf and an ice cream stand, and it's actually going on now.
Is it haunted mini golf or is it just really cute, like kitschy mini golf?
Well, it's decorated for Halloween, we'll say. The thing I like about it is there's an artist who has done mural-size paintings on sections of wooden fence that they put throughout the mini golf course, and the atmosphere is really nice when you're out in the crisp fall air, and there's Halloween music playing, and they have lights on all their decorations, and you also get a golf ball that you put a small glow stick in so that you can see it at night.
Oh, like they've drilled a hole through the golf ball?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's great.
wow.
And they also have all the ice cream, so it's just like in the summertime, but it's for Halloween.
Yeah.
I've already asked to see when that might happen because I've wanted to go there for years and I've never gone.
Maybe we're taking a caravan to mini golf this year. I'd love that. Well, so any suggestions, I guess, for folks who are maybe hearing all of these recommendations, they're intrigued, but maybe they're just a little bit nervous, a little scared of the genre. Any advice for folks to help them get over their fears and maybe try out a haunt here and there?
I would say definitely avoid any contact haunts.
Contact haunt, a thing to avoid.
Where they're touching you. Yeah, if you can't handle it to begin with. The reason why I say that is because most haunts are non-contact.
Right.
So I think if you go in with the mindset that no one's going to truly hurt you and that it could take the edge off a little bit, check with the FAQs they have on the website. They usually specify that.
Yeah. Or how scary they are so you know what to expect.
Yeah, they usually give age ranges and stuff like that.
Stacey, any pro tips?
I would say along the similar lines, it's all for fun. We're there for fun to entertain you as actors. So, we like it just as much when you play along. So, and most times, if you truly are terrified, we know, and we will not scare directly at you, But if you're having fun, we're going to try even harder because we want to have fun too.
And to that point, I've been known to give encouragement to small children that I've seen come through the haunt.
Yeah.
I give them like air high fives and stuff when you can tell they're a little on edge, and it's like, no, be proud of yourself. You're doing this.
Yeah. If you want to get a taste of the art behind Dave and Stacey and the Scare House, you can check it out now through Halloween. Thank you so much, and happy haunting.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. If you're liking the show, please tell a friend, rate us, leave us a nice review, and make sure you're subscribed to our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you soon.
There's also a temptation to go to get like fast food every night after the haunt. And I start to be like, I can't go to Sheetz again. Like, I just can't. How many times have I gone to Sheetz?